my name is Cinicolo. A couple of years ago, Leonie and I were sitting in a pub. I think it was the White Lion in Sockville Lane, and we were discussing the idea of having a film festival because Leonie and I had worked together on several projects. I've made films, she's been in films, and so we thought we should have a little festival to celebrate this. And so I thought fairly small. I thought we'd have a screening in a room for our friends. She thought much bigger, and here we are, much bigger.
Much bigger. It's a huge festival, and I've really enjoyed the weekend. What's been the hardest part of all the organisation? Like, it must have taken a long time. There must have been so many hurdles to go over.
Yes, there were a lot of hurdles because we hadn't done it before, and in particular in St Albans, because St Albans is always sold on its Roman history. And I started learning about Arthur Melbourne Cooper, who was a photographer who showed the very first animated stop-motion film in the world in 1899.
Wow.
He lived in London Road, and he made the film in St Albans. Well, I'm a photographer, and I thought this guy would be just like me. If he was living now, he'd be doing something experimental. Just as if I was living then, I'd be doing something experimental.
Yeah. How long has the whole process of organising the event taken? I mean, it seems like a huge undertaking.
Well, we were talking about it 2 years ago, as I said, but essentially it started last year, about early spring, I think. We had a website to sort out first of all. Once we got the website going, then a lot of it fell into place.
Yeah, that's brilliant. What about yourself? Where did your passion for sort of film and photography first start?
I was introduced to it by an ex-war photographer. He gave me a camera when I was 17. He let me use film. He let me use his darkroom. And so I've never forgotten that. You know, the fact that an older guy helped me when I was needing help. And consequently now, because I'm an advanced age, I now help other people. I mean, my son is 23 and he's a filmmaker and a photographer. And I owe it to others now, younger people, to help them, you know, where I can. So this is a way of helping younger people to show films in a cinema setting. You know, because films on YouTube are okay, but if you go to all the trouble of making a film of any kind, you want an audience in a room to see it together.
Yeah, and there's been a fantastic reception, fantastic atmosphere here. But what for you throughout the entire process has been the most enjoyable or inspirational part? What have?
I think the collective goodwill of people, because we haven't done it before. You know, I was going to places, businesses, and trying to raise money, and I'd walk in the door. They didn't know who I was. They said, "We've never done anything before. You know, why should we give you money?" But the goodwill and the trust that people have put in us has been so tremendous. I mean, that's the best thing about all this, I think, for me. The fact that people trusted us to do it.
Yeah, and there's a huge buzz around it as well. The whole town has been lit up over the weekend, which has been fantastic. So what's next for the film festival? Are we going to be back next year?
Well, this is the start of something big, so we can't stop it now. It's like a rolling stone. It has to keep going. I mean, really.
A monster.
Well, I hope we haven't created a monster, but we had, as Jean-Luc said, almost 400 films, so I guess next year it'll be 1,000 films, and so we had 25 judges this year, so I can't imagine how many judges we'll need next year. I suppose we just have to kind of be prepared for the sort of tidal wave.
And lastly, what do you hope that the festival will do for St Albans as a city?
It'll show other people that there's more than just Roman history here. There's a lot of creative people, a lot of actors, a lot of filmmakers who believe greatly in their work, and and of course Melbourne Cooper, who in Victorian times was making films. I want people to know St Albans, because I lived here 40 years. I want people to come here not just for the Roman history, but also for the fact that it's a creative place, culturally creative.
So it's a chance for everyone to celebrate the deep culture that's here already.
Yes, I mean the music. There's a lot of music venues in St Albans, and so there's a lot of outlet for live music. But there isn't much of an outlet for the visual arts, and so it's the visual arts we need to kind of promote.
Yeah, and I think we've done a great job. Well, you've done a great job with this weekend. I've had a fantastic time,
I'm glad to
and I
hear
just want to say a massive thank you to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.